Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Well, hello there, social media family. Being of any subscribers and or visitors of any persons among yourselves, that is, visitors as well as any subscribers who are, that subscribers and visitors alike, who are affiliated or associated with and are representing my own YouTube social media channel, and or likewise chat room or comment section. Well, whatever I have said. And I apologize. Yes, I'm sorry for possibly, not just practically, but for possibly butchering the English language as we have it of the American dialect. You know, being of our own adopted native tongue with all of its grammatical usages of qualities and quantities. But then, as a backtrack here, with reason or purpose of being, if I'm going too far, I want to continue. When my person had last office, last left off. I'm sorry, I can't even get my words together at this rather late hour as much as I would like to. But then, what I meant to say is, as I go on to follow to continue to try to complete a form of pre-fire line thought, or no correction. See what I mean? Or whereas I would like to do so, and going back to the very beginning and start all over, because I suspect that I had become subject to experiencing some kind of a computer glitch, like where it happens at the very beginning at times, then somewhere down the line during the course of a social media broadcast, and whereas sometimes I can continue and sometimes I will not to be able to do so, depending on how, serious the hack is or sabotage against social media broadcasts or video content coming from the likes of computer hacker characters, So with that having been said, and I'm steady for the record, let me just start this here all over again from the top at the very beginning. So I say just in case you may have missed the very beginning of it, if some such had developed otherwise, as I was saying in a state of record. And with that having been said, here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Let's just dive into this here. Cannonball. And just nip it in the bud, get it out the way so that I can, finally try to get me some Z's, and while I try to do justice to this present social media broadcast and video content, as a remake of the one that had come prior to this one, and whereas that one was supposed to be a remake of the original one, but it was cut short then because of the likes of, computer hackers, or one of the likes of their kind. What I meant to say. Yes. But anyway, though, whereas the original as well as the remake, and this one is having to do with this main public nuisance of a problem neighbor, a neighbor from damn hell, being of whom is a local vicinity area neighborhood community drug pusher of a black individual of male character, who is continuing to assume that he has a legit personal vendetta or grudge matching against me, and whereas he himself, I suspect, likewise, is the main reason or the root cause of my most recent battles with general physical health issues, and whereas I had informed you all's persons, been in my social media family of any subscribers and visitors alike, affiliated, associated with, and representing my own YouTube social media channel, how he himself has attempted to make my life a living damn hell for the longest. And I say, for example, from following me into the business office of the management of real estate administrative representative personnel, whereas all I'm going in there to do for the atmosphere for its principal properties is to try to renew my apartment rental lease. As I was thinking of it with my intentions, you know, regardless of the misgivings I was having about it, being because of him. Whereas from there, he had attempted to flip the script and make it seem like he himself is the victim, to how he himself at one time or another is sitting on a stoop outside the building, mouthing off to me as I'm coming from a hospital then and there, threatening my life, you know, whereas I'm having to call the police on him for that one criminal incident of a hate crime in his own right to be compared on to any other ones, being in which he has made me become subjected to experiencing, to how at one time or another he had nearly, run his bicycle or bike to simply say into my person as he had rolled up on me, whereas he was 2 or 3 inches from and back of me and then rolled alongside of me, likewise just 2 or 3 inches from my physical body. And whereas he himself did not bother to say excuse me, so that told me right then and there that he himself had done or did that on purpose. So I had called the police on him for that criminal incident of a hate crime as well, to how at one time or another he himself is, like running down the sidewalk. He waits till I leave the building to pull that crap, and as I'm trying to catch a train for a mass transit or public transportation system with all this busting or train routes, and for that of the train station that is right across the street from the building, and whereas from there I'm having to take a detour after witnessing him running down the sidewalk with one hand in his coat or jacket pocket, regardless of whether it was for the winter season or summer season, and like he's like moving in my direction, like as if he himself is, about to snuff my life out, like as in, as he coming off like as if he is packing heat, you know. But then I wasn't going to chance it, so I had thought to take a detour and catch a bus rather instead. And so from there, I had to call the police on him again by dialing the emergency tel number of 911 to alert the local law enforcement community or police officers or cops to simply say that there's trouble in paradise for this here vicinity neighborhood community where I'm located now, as one of the less preferred ones, read between lines, fill in blanks, as in one that is more impoverished or more poverty stricken with, more food deserts, and not to mention more crime ridden, you know. And to, at one time or another, how he himself, as I'm coming back from my hospital again, he's waiting in the front entrance and or exit way of the building, for some such a given moment in time, like as if he himself was waiting for me to show up. And upon witnessing him there, I'm having to do another U-turn, or take another detour or whatever I've said, and try to enter the building via one of two back doors to it. And whereas before you know it, he must have ran from the front entrance and exit way of the building, being that because he is like, whereas there's one or two back doors that he goes in and out of more than the other one, and mainly or mostly the one next to my own apartment door. And whereas compared to the other one, whereas he could come and go as he pleased quite easily, being because there's nothing wrong with the lock mechanism to that one, whereas it doesn't or don't need repairs compared to the one next to my apartment door that is kind of messed up, whereas he would have to prop something in between the door and the border to make sure he can come and go as easily as he could possibly think to do so, like with the other back door to the building. And whereas I barely made it into my apartment, and close and lock my doorways. He's standing outside of it, cussing and swearing, threatening my life and misbehaving like himself is practically, if not possibly, about to kick my apartment door in, and whereas I had managed to get off an emergency telephone call to the police and not in time too soon, whereas my cell phone was dying, and at the same time I'm recharging it. And here it is, most recently, he's stalking me in one of the better neighborhoods. Yes, he's moonlighting as one of my stalkers as well as one of my crank callers. And I don't appreciate the attention, especially as I suspect, like I had said much earlier, and likewise stated for the record, whereas I suspect that he himself is the main reason or the root cause for my most recent battles with general physical health issues for that of some such a given moment in time. So that really spooked me. Here it is. He's attempting to start something with me again in one of the better neighborhoods, like around about the closing of the day for yesterday. And like I'm waving to a security guard to let him know that, you know, this male character of a neighbor from down here, been the main one, may be attempting to cause me problems. And then when he had witnessed me do that, that's when he had just rode off on his bike elsewhere. I'm like, what? I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I mean, why don't you just go on about your business and get you some business? You know? I'm like I mean, I'm not bothering you, and I wish you would leave me alone. I don't know where you get off, assuming that you have a legit personal vendetta or grudge match against me, whereas I have never done or said anything to you. I'm thinking in my head, other than to complain to the management of the building, of real estate administrative representative personnel, as well as to the police, how he himself will cause me to lose sleep with his late night criminal activities, and as well cause me to wake up late and start my day off late. And ever since then, it's been off to the races with him picking at me, harassing, intimidating, persecuting, terrorizing, traumatizing, or bullying me, attempting to do so, well, not just every other day, but daily and nightly, where it would be bad enough if he were to do that once in the blue moon, and it would be considered as a joke then, but that's not the case. He does it that much more, like I said, and more than, every other day, every night, as in daily and nightly, quite often. And that is just so ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. As well as it's stupid or dumb. I mean, I don't know what's his problem. But I just thought to share that with you all, of the most recent crap that I have had to put up with coming from him. And if you ask me, I think that he has severe mental problem, or serious mental disorder, severe mental disorder, serious mental problem. You know what I meant to say. Or same thing. Not to mention how I suspect that he could possibly be gay, because anytime a male becomes so infatuated or obsessed with another male representing the same sex, then you would have to be kind of gay, if you ask me. Especially if you are attempting to get the attentions of another male that's never done anything to you or said anything to you, like as if he himself is like saying in his head, if I can't have you, then nobody can. It's kind of gay. But then, worse yet, or worse is all, I suspect that he himself be bothering with my apartment door and trespassing my premises property. Well, that is to be placed in the same similar. So is that what I'm saying? No, in the same category and classified all the same, as if he himself were to threaten my life. Then, because it would be bad enough if he were to trespass my premises properties of a place rather than use the atmosphere of apartment for his premises property when I'm gone from the building, trying to take care of some personal business matters for my own survival, than to think that he could possibly be doing so while I'm here, trying to get my rest, trying to get some sleep for myself. Because there are times I have woke up and I noticed some, you know, cut marks on my physical body. So that told me right there, I know I didn't have an accident. That told me right there that he's trespassing my private place rather than unit admin for apartment, you know. Yeah. But then if at some given moment in time or another, I myself could be like, trying to, check out my food supply for leftovers in my fridge. And if it starts to smell and or taste, funny, before the expiration date is what I meant to say, much sooner. Well, hopefully I wouldn't taste it as well as, smell it. From there I would have to toss it. Then because I would have my suspicion that he himself could have possibly added a secret extra ingredient, if you know what I mean, read between lines, fill in the blanks, Yeah. So this is what I'm having to deal with, the same crackpot or nutcase, this creepy, cowardly, faggoty, stupid and sick, drug pushing, character of a black individual being my main neighbor from down here. Well, he's more creepy than stupid and sick, But then the police know that I have had problems with him, whereas now he has a paper trail against him that is practically, if not possibly, just as long as the Great Wall of China, So if anything happens to me, his apartment door will be the first one. One of the first ones? No, his will be the first one that the police should think of it with man's attention to knock upon. And if for some reason or another, somehow I could, depart this world prematurely, then nevertheless, that's where CSI get involved all the same, to do a physical examination to determine what could have been the cause of death, So he has tightened the rope around his neck, and given him more than enough rope to hang himself with as he continues to attempt to pick at me, harass, intimidate, persecute, terrorize, traumatize, and bully me. So I just thought I should share that with you all, And on this last note, I would like to say, if you have not gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of Roman soldiers upon the orders of their superiors, the religious, political, military, etc., especially when it comes to the ancient religious Pharisees and Sadducees, to fulfill biblical prophecy, to restore the breach between mankind or humankind and God being he himself as they come in human form, fulfill biblical prophecy, so that anybody who could profess faith in him don't have to worry about ending up in the lake of fire, a damn hell, to be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, lost, damn human souls of non-believers or unbelievers, to be tortured and terrorized, as well as to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and demons, is what I'm trying to say, as well as to be burning forever. But you could be of an assembly of like-minded believers in the presence of God and his angels as citizens of the kingdom of heaven, and even so be blessed down here upon the planet Earth, and hopefully become a blessing onto others if and when. You all take care and be safe, be blessed, not stressed, peace and love, joy and happiness. And I'll holler at you later. We out. Peace.